Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now the company Newly Palm reached out to me to see if I would be interested in reviewing one of their products. They have a small number of products in an online catalog at the Amazon store, so as I was looking through their products trying to figure out what it was I might be interested in reviewing, I came across one of the products that they offer. This is a lantern. This is basically a multi-function lantern, and in that regard, something that I thought would be just about perfect. So before we get too far, I'd like to say thank you very much to the people at Newly Palm who have provided this product for review. Now, generally speaking, I typically like products that are reasonably high-end. I have no problem paying good money for something as long as it has good function, high quality. Oftentimes would come with some good quality review from somebody else and is something that's regarded as a high quality product. But lately, I have to admit, I've tried a bunch of products that I otherwise might not have naturally gravitated towards, and I've been extremely impressed. Some budget items that have really been a good option for people who are looking to get either started in a hobby, maybe it's backpacking or camping or even bushcraft. And in this case, this is a multi-purpose item. This would be maybe something for a car camping application, something you could use for maybe emergency or a survival purpose. Not really, I would say, like heavy-duty survival, but I'm saying kind of like, you know, a little shit hit the fan, or maybe a power outage or something where you're really needing some good quality illumination. So when I saw this product, to me, it's something that, quite honestly, I wouldn't have naturally gravitated towards, but thinking a little bit outside of the box, I think this might have a really great application and work quite well for me. Now, getting into it here, I have already removed this originally from the package simply to charge it up so that I can give you a good quality review here. But basically inside the box, there's really nothing else other than, when you remove it, this lantern. And my initial impression when I hold this is, wow, this feels like it is very well built. That was the first thing that just coming out of the box. It doesn't feel like it's overly heavy, like unnecessarily heavy, but it feels like the construction is quality and stout. So that's a good thing when the very first thing, when you remove something from the package, it feels like it's a nice quality item. So this brand name appears to be Kinsach, and this is the KS5992 model. Now, getting into some of the details here, this is an 18650 lithium-ion powered flashlight and lantern. So basically this has a 2600 milliamp hour 18650 battery built right into it with its own USB charger. Now this has three different modes, sort of a searchlight mode, and then a portable power mode, and a camp light mode. As you see here, this has a nice size lens, a nice smooth reflector, which should give it a decent throw. As you look at this section, this is the lantern section. It does have multiple modes, so you can adjust the brightness. Here is your USB charging cable. This also has the ability to use this to charge other electronics. Has your battery indicator light and some hooks that you can use to hang this up. So basic features, but at the same time, an overall nice package. Not to mention, this has a little grab handle if you wanted to use this in the spotlight mode. So generally speaking, a pretty well put together and thought through package, multi-purpose, and has a number of different features. Now the spotlight has a 350 lumen maximum output, and this claims to have a rough distance of throw of approximately 500 meters. The lantern has a maximum output of around 150 lumens. So this is not a super high power flashlight or lantern, but it should be suitable light for most tasks that you're going to need it for. Now my initial impression at 2600 milliamp hours on that 18650 battery, I feel as though it's not going to be terribly suitable in terms of the charging capability. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're trying to charge, but that really isn't even enough to get a full charge on today's modern smartphone. So you need to be a little bit careful there if you intend on using this both for its light output and also for charging. But I think in a pinch, say it was sort of a, shit hit the fan, or I'd say power outage situation, maybe you need just a little bit of juice to get your phone up and running or something like that, this would certainly do the job. Now there are two power buttons. Pressing the power button on the back here, if you press it once, you get your battery indicator. A second time, and you get the full output. You'll see dual-sided LEDs, so this side and this side, you'll see a separation in there. And then pressing it a third time basically cuts that lumen output in half. And then to operate the Searchlight, you basically use the front button here. So you'll see on the side there is sort of a clicky switch on the side. So a single press turns that on and off, on and off. So there is only one power output here at that 350 lumen output, which is a decent amount of light. Actually, just in general, something to say about lumen output, it depends on the lens and the overall focus, how bright something's going to be. So it'll be interesting to get this outside later tonight when it gets a bit darker to see how this 350 lumen output overall performs. Taking a look at it here, you'll see the nice smooth reflector on the inside. This has actually, I believe, a plastic lens, and it seems to be reasonably resilient. It is not a glass lens, but overall you'll see that there are some little artifacts and things. It's not incredibly crystal clear, so just a little bit cheaper on that side than some of the nicer flashlights, but overall, because of that nice, large, and smooth lens, I feel as though this should perform overall pretty well. But again, I want to reiterate the fact that the quality of this in general feels to be quite nice. It feels durable, well built. You'll hear here, as I move this handle, a nice solid snap. I mean, when you move this around, it indexes almost perfectly, so the manufacturing is great. When you look at some of the details, like how this USB charger just kind of clips into place and fits nicely, it's pretty well done. I like the overall design. You know, you'll see the cable has a little track that it rides in, and then as you kind of spin it around and get it into place, the actual USB charger fits in there well. Looking at these hooks on the back, they clip into place very nicely. There are two, so you can kind of clip it on and not fear that it's going to fall off. And again, these snap nicely into place. So just generally speaking, I feel as though this is very well made, and I am extremely interested in checking out the overall performance. So as I mentioned, this does have the ability to charge a device via the USB output. So let's just say I needed to get a little bit of juice into my cell phone. Here I can plug it in just using the typical micro USB, and as soon as I plug it in, you will see that the lights come on and my phone starts to charge. So overall, that seems to work extremely well. Now again, you see your battery indicator on the top, so 25, 50, 75, and 100%. So over time, this will eventually draw itself down. Now again, I would like to point out that with the 2650 milliamp battery, you do not have the ability to fully charge a typical cell phone, so you need to be a little bit careful. But then again, you would forego the overall ability to use the lantern at that point. So I am curious if this can serve dual purpose, and yes, it can. So not only can you be charging your phone, but you also can be using the lantern, and if you wanted to go all the way, it pretty much serves all three functions all at once. So at this point, I don't want to use up too much more of this battery. I'd like to save this for some use tonight, and I want to give this Searchlight a good quality test to see how well it will perform. So the next time you'll see this, it's going to be getting some use, and we'll be having ourselves some good quality time together. So hang tight. We'll see you soon. So here I am with this Newly Palm camp light, and a few things that are pretty cool. So when you press the button twice, you get full illumination, but then when you hold the button down, it'll basically have an infinite sort of reduction in light, so that's nice. Again, if you half press, it kind of cuts it in half, and then holding it down on this side, you can see it just kind of brightens or dims depending on how much light you want when you half press it. So pretty neat feature. So now in terms of the capability of using this as a searchlight or a floodlight, I'm going to use that sort of front mode here, and let's see how far this will throw. You can see it over there pretty bright, and actually it will make it all the way across this pond, but it's not quite enough light to really fully illuminate. Actually, now that I'm starting to get a little closer, it's getting a little more reasonable. When I come directly beside me, that's a pretty good amount of light there, so if there was something over there I needed to see, I absolutely could. And that's probably 80 to 100 feet away right there. Zooming in so you can see a little bit of detail as I kind of move the light with the camera here. Pretty good amount of detail. So this has a decent throw. It's not like super amazing, but I am pretty impressed at how bright that is. I mean, you can totally make out individual trees over there. And I bet you if there was something over there I needed to see, I'd have a pretty good idea of what it was. Now again, if we continue all the way back across the pond, you'll see camera loses focus. It's really trying to illuminate the trees over there. It kind of is going in and out of focus, you can kind of see, but it's not nearly as bright. So I'd say the quality sort of functional range of this, where you really could identify objects clearly, is roughly 100 to 150 feet. Now in terms of illumination, in the tent this works quite well. You can see it is a ton of light. That's full power, but it looks very good and casts a nice even sort of flood of light. So generally speaking, I like it quite a bit. Works nice. So generally speaking, I like this camp light. I think it's really cool. I love the modes. I like the quality. The only thing that's a little bit difficult is it's a little bulky and kind of heavy, so it's not the perfect option for backpacking. But quite honestly, to be honest with you, I had no problem bringing it here because it's cool, and bottom line is, I like it. So alright guys, there you have it. A real quick look at this very interesting camp light from Newly Palm. So again, I'd just like to say thank you very much to the people at Newly Palm for providing this product for review. It caught me a little bit by surprise. I very much like this. When I was looking at it, I thought it would be cool, and then after using it, I definitely dig it. This is a very interesting product, something that I think would work very well for a lot of people and for a lot of different reasons. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to intend on using this long term. I don't know if this is a backpacking option for me. Even though I very much like the functionality, it is a little heavy and a little bit bulky for actual backpacking, but overall a product that I definitely like. I could see me using this in a number of different applications for different reasons, so it's something that's handy and worth having. And generally with the overall quality and construction and the good quality light output, it's something that for me, I'm definitely impressed at, and I very much like it. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.